Hey, what's up everybody? You're going to want to watch this XRP video. I'm about to tell you things about XRP. If you're new to this channel, you've never heard before. And also, if you aren't new, you're going to hear some new things as well. I am going to explain what I believe is happening here with XRP. It's probably going to be one of the greatest monumental moves in crypto history. And I don't say that lightly, I say that strongly. And there's a lot of reasons why XRP is my #1 position by far. So let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to talk about this beautiful chart right here, but I'm going to go deeper and let's just talk about the elephant in the room, which is what? That recent move we just had, which is what? This gorgeous breakout here above this range. We've been in this range since about September, mid-September, and now we're sitting here towards the end of September. So about 2 weeks we've been in this range. But if you look at the entire XRP chart, we've actually been going sideways. XRP hasn't broken out in over 6 years. Actually coming up on 7 years. And you can say, well, how is that good? That's horrible. That's bad. XRP is trash. XRP is this. XRP is sideways. It doesn't do anything. It's boring. Well, okay, that's all valid stuff. But I'm going to explain to you why that is actually a good thing, not a bad thing. Okay, so just sit tight. Bear with me here on this chart. So let me first go to this XRP chart. So it's a little bit different. It's a perpetual futures contract, which means I have a little bit tighter of a price action. So I've been talking about this wave structure here for it feels like a long time, and I've given you my thoughts on exactly what I think this is. Now there's a couple different counts, there's a couple different ideas, but let me explain. If you're new to the channel, hopefully we got some new people here because this is an XRP special, XRP only video, and I think you're gonna really enjoy it if you're a holder or if you're maybe thinking about holder. But before I do that, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. This is entertainment. I could be totally wrong. XRP can go to 0 and you can lose all your money, right? So don't do anything without really knowing what you're getting into. You got to have strong conviction, right? You can't just listen to someone on YouTube. Hey, XRP is cool. I'm going to get. No, you got to do extensive research. So I'm going to make my case on why I believe XRP is in a prime position unlike any other coin on the planet. The first reason is because XRP has a completely different wave structure than all the other coins, right? If you look at Total 3, if you look at like THETA, there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing at all wrong with the wave structure those are doing, but it's different. So, for example, people say, I love to be diversified. I'm diversified. I have 10 different altcoins. But the problem is, those 10 different altcoins, if you look at the chart, they're freaking identical. So it's not about being diversified in different assets. It's about being diversified in different charts, right? For example, if Filecoin and Engine have the exact same wave structure, which they don't, but I'm just saying as an example. So here's an even better example. Just an average. Here's Theta Fuel. Look at the wave structure, right? There's nothing wrong with Theta Fuel. I love it. I love it. It's going to do amazing, right? But what I'm saying is if I own Theta Fuel and the chart looks exactly like this, then why would I own something else that looks exactly the same? See, for example, look at Theta Fuel. Look at the price, right? We had this big move down, three-way pullback, slam down to the low, back to the upside. Okay, now look at ADA. It's literally identical, guys. Look at, we slammed down, we have a three-way pullback, back down to the low. All the charts basically look like this, right? I can go to, for example, Filecoin. It's the same exact thing. So it doesn't matter if it's Filecoin or whatever. So my pick, so I want to own an asset that looks like that. So what is my #1 pick? It's THETA. That's my #1 altcoin pick, theta and theta fuel for this price structure, right? Let's look at loop ring. Look at loop ring. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same, guys. Look at Ethereum Classic. Exactly the same. Now, look at XRP. That is totally different in a good way, in a really good way, right? So that's what I'm saying. That's true diversification, right? If I own loop ring and ADA, and I'm like, okay, you know, they're gonna do no, they're this. Look, one might do better than the other. One might shoot up another day than the other, but they're both highly correlated, right? That may change. That might not always be the case, but right now they are. Okay, so that's number one that I like XRP is because it's different. It's so much different. The other reason is, and I'm going to get into those other reasons a little bit later, but let's talk about the current wave structure here and what this is doing. So if you've been following my channel, you know exactly what I've been saying in here, which is what? Well, easy. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a beautiful 5-wave move. Okay, now we have a 3-wave pullback. Perfect. And a lot of people I've noticed aren't really talking about this count, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's a little bit hard to see, but I can see it pretty clearly if you've been doing it as much as I have. So if you look at this, we have a 3-wave move back to the upside. And then what do we have? We have the most beautiful, gorgeous looking 3-wave move that I've seen in a very long time, which is this bad boy right here. I mean, look at this shape. This is what we live, sleep, and breathe for as Elliott wave traders. This is beautiful wave structure, and you can go back and listen to the videos starting after September 10th, and you can just pick any video, and I mention the word beautiful 3-wave pullback because it really is. So what does that mean? What did I just say? Well, we have a 5-wave move to the upside. Okay, that's wave 1. Then we have 3 down. That's a W. We have 3 back up, that's an X, and we have 3 back down, that's a Y. And what does that mean? This is a 1, this is a 2. And what is the 2? It's a WXY running flat. So we have a running flat pattern, and look at this. Look at right here. So I'm going to zoom into this, and this is the exact same sort of setup that's happening, just a little bit smaller. But before I do that, what do we have? Obviously, we have a 1 and a 2. So then what does that mean? Well, this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the 3rd wave. So we could be having a 5-wave move up of that 3rd wave, right? Then we get a wave 2, then we get a wave 3, 4, and 5. And that becomes wave 3. So 1, 2, and then we go up for 3, 4, and 5 later on. So we'll jump into that too as the days go on. But let me just zoom in and let me pull your attention to right here, this wave structure. I tweeted out on September 25th, the bottom here, and I'm going to show you right now. So, but before I do that, right, everything, and believe me, everything's going to tie together and make sense, and it's going to be like a aha moment. So just bear with me here. So we have, obviously we've been in this consolidation, right? We're going sideways. Remember what I say, sideways is good. We love sideways, right? Look at Amazon. It took 10 years before Amazon broke out above its all-time high, and that's one of the greatest companies to ever exist. Okay, so if you look at this current wave structure, what do we see? We have a 1, 2, perfect, and then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a 1, 2, and this is 3, and now looks like we're in a wave 4. So what is wave 4? Okay, we have 3 down, perfect. We have 3 up, perfect, and we have 3 back down. That's a WXY. That's a running flat again, okay? And now what do we see? We have an impulse up, a 3-way pullback, and now what do we see? A big 3rd wave. So 1, 2, 3. We're probably going to come all the way back down to 4. Don't be surprised. Yes, I'm very bullish on XRP, but we just broke out. We can always come all the way back down and back test this $33 billion area. And I'm on the market cap, by the way. I'm not on the actual price. So I think that was like, what, 50, 58, 59 cents. We can come back down and back test, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's what I'm looking for to complete that fifth wave. And then when you zoom out, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So let me show you this chart right here. And this chart came from my X account. And if you haven't followed it, you can go ahead and do so. I put out little tweets every now and then. But this was on September 25th. And basically what I said was, this is looking like a potential running flat. And then we also have a bullish hammer candle, which is that right there, off of a three-way pullback. So we had this three-way pullback. We had a bullish hammer, right? And that three-way pullback came from a double three. So, I mean, you know, and then if you fast forward today, this is what we got, right? So remember, that was our little bullish hammer candle that we talked about on the 4-hour chart. And so yeah, now we have a 1, 2. Let's get 3, and we're still pumping up the jams. Let's look at the small time frames real quick, and then we'll talk about the big stuff, and then I'll go into the reasons why I think this is probably going to be a life-changing situation coming up. Maybe it might take some time, but you know what? The time's going to pass regardless, so we might as well position ourselves accordingly to what we think is the best appropriate move, right? And again, this is not advice. This is just me saying what I'm doing. I suggest everyone doing their own research here. But looking at the 20-minute chart here, we got like a little bit of a 1, 2, another 1, 2. So it looks like we're getting a little bit of slowdown here. You can see we got some bearish divergence on the 20-minute chart. So, you know, this thing deserves a little bit of a cool down here, right? We got a little bit of a divergence. What could it be? Well, it's very early to tell. It's too early to tell, right? I mean, this can turn into, this could be an A and a B, and then we come down and get C, right? It could be a flat structure. Flat structures are the #1 correction that crypto likes to do, that I highly recommend people learning, right? You have a flat, you have an expanded flat, you have a running flat, and they go both ways. So definitely Google that and learn about it. It's very important. So we can have something like that, right? Or we can come back down. I mean, you can see the area in which it broke out of. This was a very tight range in here, right? So don't be surprised if we did have to come back down here, right? And if we did, that's okay. That's okay, because, you know, it allows people, first of all, we want to make sure it breaks out. So we got confirmation it breaks out. So then you want to wait for a pullback, and then you want to get in, right? So if you have a 5-wave move, let the 5-wave move go, and then always wait for that 3-wave pullback, and more often than not, you'll be right. And it's not about being right every single time. It's about being consistent in your trades, in your dollar cost averaging, or whatever you're trying to do. So let's zoom out a little bit now. So when we look at the 4-hour chart once again, and we take this off, the next order of business is to break above these highs up here. And look, we're challenging these highs right now. So that's a good thing. What's really also a good thing is we broke above this downward resistance line that you can see right here. So we've officially broken, let's see what this is, back in August. So we have August, September, so a 2-month, right? So about, what, about 60 days there. So we've been going down in this for 2 months, and we finally broke above the supply line. So you can see down here was our demand line, and the demand line was a lot stronger than the supply line, right? And basically I said this is coming to an apex in here. So it's going to make a decision pretty soon. And look at the way it broke out. There's another idea in here as well, which is what? This could also have been a triangle, right? So we have an A, B, C, D, and then an E for running flat, and then we break out. But either way, if it's a WXY or if it's a triangle, basically it's, you know, it means that we're breaking out, right? We're gonna go. So it's not completely confirmed yet, so don't get me wrong. This thing can still come back down, right? And you can say, well, what do you mean? Well, what we need to do this is the #1 goal for XRP right now, is to break above that zone. That is a must. Once we break above that zone, then it's going to feel a lot more has a lot more probability, more conviction in the higher prices. But until then, we're sort of just stuck here at resistance. Yes, it's a good move, but here's the cool part. Did it go up in 5 waves? Right? And we can see a 5-wave move here, right? And we can see a 3-wave pullback there. And we could see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move here, right? So I would imagine we would flag out once we get up in here, and then from there, break out. So that's what I'm thinking. That's kind of my main idea right now. So what about anything bearish related? Can this thing flip to the downside? Well, here's what I'll say about that. If we start breaking back below 56, this zone right there, if we start doing something like that, then you know, there's a couple different things it could be, right? So if we do break to the downside, this could still be some type of expanded flat where we have, I don't like it at all, it doesn't really make sense, it's going to be too big, but we have 3 down, right? And this whole thing could be 3 up. So we have 1, 2, 3 down. This could be 3 up, and then we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. And this turns into an expanded flat, which breaks below this liquidity. This liquidity gets taken out, A, B, C, right? And then if we put the bull market support band up, which is extremely important, you can see this order block down here is correlated with it. I just dragged that out right there. We can have an expanded flat and then continue higher. So look out for that sneaky little guy, right? So that right there is a definite a possibility there. And if we got something like that, then it would make more sense that this is a triangle, right? A contracting triangle where we have 3 down, 3 up, right? A, B, C. And then we have 3 up for D, and then we have this expanded flat for E, and then we go up. So contracting, right? So look out for this expanded flat. So just be cautious, right? So we'll be watching. And then how do we know if it's going to be that or not? Well, the thing is if we do come back down, which I probably think we will, but once we do, what do we want? We want to hold above this back test level. And then from there, we can continue higher. Now, as long as we don't break below this wave 2 here, right, and especially this wave 1, then this 5-wave move is still, you know, in play, I should say. All right, so that's kind of what we have here for this move. So now let me zoom out and let's look at what that move is actually doing on the bigger scheme of things. So let's zoom out a little bit here. Actually, let's go to the 2-day chart. And when we look at the 2-day chart, remember we were looking at this structure right here. So that structure is doing what in relation to what all this is. And now that's what we're going to talk about. So right off the bat, what do we see? We have 3 up, we have 3 down, and then what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So even if you got rid of that, you have a 5-wave move, A, B, C, right? So in the C leg, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we'll just say this is a 5-wave move, right? What else is there? Now we have this A, we come up into a B, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for C, right? So let me just put that on clearly so everybody can see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A nice leading diagonal right there. And then what we have is an A, a B, and a C, right? So there we go. And what that is, hopefully what this is what? Is all of that's a 1, this is a 2, and now we're about to get 3. Now there is some counts that actually, there's actually some, the overall count that I'm about to say on the macro actually says this isn't correct, right? And actually what this is actually an A, B, C, right? And this is 3 up and this is 3 down, and now we're about to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So this whole thing is a 3-wave move like that, right? And I'll touch on that in a moment. But first, let me explain what I think is going on the bigger time frames here. So let's go down to this XRP chart right here, and this is the big boy right here that everybody should be paying attention to. This chart right here. So let's go to the weekly, right? Or actually, let's go to the 2-week chart. There we go. So this chart right here is pretty impressive. And you can say, what do you mean? It looks terrible. You know, we're just going sideways. Well, here's the thing. And now this is where I'm going to jump into the, to the other parts of why XRP is one of my biggest holdings and why I have high conviction and confidence in the move that we're about to see sometime in the near future. My whole thoughts is, Trump's going to get elected. It's going to be a battle for the White House. There's going to be election chaos. That's my prediction. They might not let him in the White House at first. There might be a court battle, certifying the election. There might be a lot of crappy stuff that goes on. But once all that settles, Trump's in, he's secured. Then we fire Gary Gensler. We have regulations. Crypto continues to expand because of the bullish emphasis that we should expect from the upcoming administration. So it's going to be interesting. But anyways, we can see this whole thing right here is a massive base, right? This is the biggest base in crypto history, XRP, right? Obviously you have a couple others too, but nothing to the scale of what this is, right? Even XLM as well. So this is a huge base. And remember what they say, the bigger the base, the higher in space. Now, if you look at XRP's signature move, the one that put XRP on the map, which is this bull run from here all the way up to here. How did that bull run come about? Well, look at what happened. We came